Hello, everyone. Welcome to my podcast. Today, we're going to talk about how I'm a diligent problem solver, and I have two beautiful ladies with me today, which are Miss Lorraine and Maria. I'm going to ask them a series of questions, and they're going to try to answer it, talking about how I'm a diligent problem solver. So, my first question to any of you guys is, how has Priscilla found a way to identify problems and solve them?
I think Priscilla is good at identifying problems, and I want to look at it from like an emotional point of view with people around her. Mm-hmm. So I think Priscilla always goes out of her way to be aware of emotions of other people and take them into account, and through that, she's solving a lot of problems if that's either with relationships with people, with relationships in herself. If someone is having a bad day, like going out of her way to go to this person, talk to them, help them feel better. Because I think she does a really good job with taking into account people's emotions.
Yeah, to add to that, I would say solving problems as far as researching really well, because I think in order to solve something, you have to be able to look for different kinds of solutions and what people have already thought of out there. And so I think, especially I remember in 10th grade when she was struggling with geometry, she was looking online for different ways to be learning and solving the problem of just not understanding necessarily what was happening. And so I think having those skills also to be able to solve problems in a learning environment or find things even at our school that could be improved and putting ideas out there.
Awesome. So, the next question is, in which ways has Priscilla used a variety of sources and found the credible ones? Or
in all of her classes. I've been her debate partner multiple times, so I can talk a lot about debate. She's great at research. She'll find articles. I don't know where she finds them, out of nowhere. She finds the best research, best articles, and I'm not the only one recognizing this. She's been recognized for this so much that she's gone into classes to teach them about research, because she's become so good at this during the years. So something that's super interesting about debate is that she needs to find articles that prove both points of view, and sometimes that's really hard to do, especially when there's a push for one point of view, and she's able to do this in all of in all the experiences that I've had with her.
Yeah, I think debate's a great example. Another time I saw this was in, I believe it was 11th grade when y'all were doing the college search, and Priscilla would find, first of all, it was great because she asked for, or we got this book of all 500 colleges, and she would just seriously sit through and read and eliminate and learn about what were the strengths and weaknesses of different universities that could be interesting to her. But also, as she was presenting the university she found and what she thought was a good fit for her, she was really able to match what her strengths were and her needs were to universities that she had found by doing really in-depth research, not just what she'd heard from other people about colleges, but going outside of ones that even Doulos students have ever gone to before and finding new ones.
Okay, my third question is, how good is Priscilla to make decisions without being biased?
Now I remember the question. I think she's really great at recognizing bias. I think something in 11th and 12th grade that y'all have learned a lot about what bias is, to be able to see it, especially through debate articles or for articles on injustice. I don't know. That's a hard question because I don't know how to know if someone is not using bias.
Yeah, in their decision making.
I
mean, I can from academically for debate, she has to look at both points of view, which is great. She's looking at both sides of an argument, but I don't know how she does this in her day-to-day life.
Okay. Well, we could talk about her college decision.
Yeah.
I think in deciding where to go for college, when she went to the U.S. for Christmas and was talking to family members, she did have to recognize bias in her cousin's experience in what happened
Yeah.
versus maybe Oscar's experience in what happened, and
Yeah.
recognizing
That is
those
true.
two sides and being able to take out the bias from that decision.
Okay. My second question is, how does Priscilla make decisions taking in consideration of what she has learned?
I think Priscilla's very prepared, and I think this comes from like mistakes she's made in the past. For example, she's like always on top of, for college, for we've been talking a lot about college, for example, she's been always on top of like, do I need to call this place to ask any, like, the tiniest question that I have, like calling. I know that calling sometimes is better than emailing, so I'm going to like go out of my way to do all these things because of the experience and mistakes she's made in the past, and she's been able to learn from those.
And following up afterwards
Yeah.
if she doesn't get all the answers. Yeah, I would agree with that. I also think even in knowing how she learns, that's been something that she's been able to take into consideration. So coming into math class or coming into English class or science class, she knows a lot better how she needs to organize herself, how
Yeah.
she needs to organize her time. She knows the mistakes she's learned from. And so I think she takes that into consideration when making decisions about how to organize herself and how to decide what steps she needs to take to get to the grade she wants.
And the last question is, how well does Priscilla take into account people's opinions?
Well, I do think she's also realized what opinions she trusts, and so I think she's great at knowing how to get opinions she trusts and take those into consideration and realize. I do think the bias might be in them in order to know what information to trust and how to best make a decision.
I also like that even when she doesn't agree with someone or someone's opinion, she's willing to listen to it, even though like maybe she decides that that's not their best for her life right now. She's willing to listen to people and consider other people's opinions, and at least like, you know, give the people the time of day even if she like doesn't agree with them.
Yeah, and so be open that there might be other
Yeah.
ideas out there.
Okay, thank you. This was my podcast. See you next time.